안녕하세요, 여러분. 제가 티네입니다. Today we are going to be doing another random word Korean challenge painting video. I didn't feel like being on camera this time, so it's gonna be voiceover. How exciting! Yay! As you can see, there are 4 mini paintings in front of me. There is one for each of the 4 seasons: summer, winter, spring, and fall. And I'm going to be pulling 3 random nouns, 4 colors, and a time of the day for each of the mini paintings. The first word that I pulled was 해 or 태양, which means the sun. Then next thing I pulled was 사람, which is a person, so someone's enjoying the summer sun. But then the very next thing I pulled was the time of the day, and it was 밤, which means night. So I'm thinking summer sunset, like it's almost getting dark, but it gets dark late. Next thing is a 동물, which is an animal, so I'm thinking maybe some birds flying in the distance towards the sun. Next thing we have is the colors. 녹색 is green, 주황색 is orange, 검은색 is black, and then the final color I picked was 빨강, which is red. So I think I got some nice things that could make a good summer scene. So the next season that's up is winter. The first thing I pulled was 우후, which is afternoon, so I'm thinking dark clouds maybe. Then I picked 동물, and so animal, gotta include an animal somehow. And then the next thing I picked was 녹색, which is green. And then I picked 집, which is a house, and then I picked 구름, which is clouds. Picked was 검은색, which is black, and then 흰색, which is white. So black and white clouds, winter, all good. And then I picked 갈색, which is brown, and I was like, okay, I guess I can make the trees or I can make the animal brown. Next season is spring, and the first thing I pulled was 밤, night again, which I wasn't too happy about. And then I pulled black again, which I kind of wasn't happy about either. And then I picked clouds, which it just seemed like I kept making things less and less spring. And then I got mountain, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, sun. This is gonna be hard to make it look like spring with night and mountains. And then I pulled 자주색, which is purple, and so I was at a complete loss at what to do. And then I pulled 파랑, which is blue, and it made things a little bit better. Then I pulled white again, which also made things a tiny bit better. Last season is fall, and the first thing I picked was 아침, which is morning, and I was like, oh yeah, I can deal with that, fall in the morning. But then the very next thing I picked was 우주, which is outer space. It's morning in outer space again, just like last time, and I don't know what to do. At this point, I was like, I'm just gonna change my name to Kwangsu, because I'm that unlucky. So after I was done freaking out about the coincidence, I pulled more things, pulled a C, then 해 or 태양, which is the sun again, and then a red, and then white, and then the next color was blue, and for the final color, I picked black. I don't know how I managed to pick black for all 4 paintings, but hey, that's what happened. So first things first, I'm adding in some orange, trying to figure out where I want the sun to be on the canvas. And then I'm slowly adding in some red to give some distinction between the sun and the just skyness. I don't know what the word is I'm trying to think of right now, but the sky. And I'm slowly trying to add in some of that lighter orange that I had to mix in to be the sun and try to have some distinction between just the sky and the sun. And then I added in my foreground and a little bit of the background with some trees and tried to give some sunlight beams jumping off of those. And then I realized that the sky was too light to tell the difference between the sun and the sky. So I added in black to give like a pure distinction, and then used red to kind of smooth out that area a little bit so it wasn't such a huge contrast. And then I added in our 동물, which I decided to be birds. And then I added a rock beneath where a tiny little backpacker is resting, watching the sun go down. And that is our summer. Well, next we have winter, and I covered the canvas pretty much all over in white, and then I just added in some dark black streaks to kind of be our clouds. It's the middle of the day, so I just kind of wanted to be like a dreary looking, like middle of January kind of day. Then I started adding in the trees, and I didn't wash my brush and just went straight into the green, so some of that white can still be on there and some of that gray, so that the color can look washed out with the first set, and then eventually adding more green to the next set, and then eventually some green and some black mixed in, so that the foreground trees can be a lot darker than the background trees. I cleaned my brush and got some white and kind of just swooped down from the bottom of the trees so that it can look like there's a little bit of like shadow on top of the snow. And of course, I can't forget our animal or our house, so I made a little bunny rabbit and a little bunny hole for the rabbit to crawl under and live in. And then I extended the trees a little bit, and then yeah, that was our winter and our tiny little bunny. So the next season is spring, and I kind of struggled with this one, guys. At first, when I wanted to do spring, I was thinking, you know, nice blooming flowers and pretty trees and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I can't because it's night and it'd be hard to see. So I added in, you know, dark blue and black paint on most of the canvas, and then added in the clouds and kind of, you know, have a little bit of light shining, not too much because it's night. And then I added in the mountains, and then I added in snow on top of the mountains, not too much because the snow is melting because it is spring. And then I added a cabin near some woods. And at first that cabin looked haunted with that bright white light. And so I dimmed that down a little bit, then added some trees next to the cabin and kind of like a walking path with those trees, added in the purple on top of the tree so I could still kind of have those blossoms a little bit, but I don't know. It's a nice piece, it just doesn't look like spring to me. So last but not least, we have fall on a planet somewhere, I don't know, far away. But we have a sunrise going on because it's supposed to be the morning, and then I added in another sun or moon, I don't know, to kind of contrast and kind of fight with whatever the sky I want it to be. I don't know. I was playing around. It's spacey. It's a different planet. Whatever I say goes. It's my world. And I added in the sea that I needed to have. This one was probably the easiest because I've done a million ocean view kind of paintings, and you know, it's just a nice simple red sunrise. You know, we've done this a million times, right guys? So these were the final pieces all together: summer, winter, spring, and fall, with the random Korean vocabulary words that I pulled from a hat. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and share into your social media pages and all that jazz. As always, 고맙습니다 for watching, and 안녕히 계세요. Bye!